Okay, the last lecture, uh, okay, in the last lecture, we have seen that how we are able to evaluate the Laplace transform, or how we are able to find the Laplace transform of the integral. So now there is one more property that we need to understand, and that is called as second shifting property. So we need to understand the last property of Laplace transform, and that is second shifting property. Okay. So as we have seen the first shifting property, what is the first shifting property? Laplace of e raised to t into f of t is equal to f bar of s. Okay. So that's what the first shifting property we have studied. Now, what is the difference between the first shifting property and the second shifting property? So, technically, what we are doing in the first shifting property is we are using this carrier signal. This is called a carrier signal, and this is called the original signal. Okay, so what we have, what is the effect of the carrier signal on the frequency? Okay, the effect of the carrier signal on the frequency is Laplace transform of e raised to at into f of t. This is equal to f bar of s minus a. So, as I said, in first shifting property, this is the carrier signal. This is the original signal. So, if I put my original signal on the carrier signal, then it gives me shift of
Excuse me, sir.
frequency. Yeah,
Sir, your screen is not visible.
my screen is not visible. Oh, good. Thank you. Okay, so now it is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it is visible, no? Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
now, as I said, the only property of Laplace transform left is the second shifting property. So, what is we have studied the first shifting property, then how this second shifting property is different from the first shifting property. So, in the first shifting property, we have Laplace of e raised to at into f of t is equal to f bar of s minus a. So here, this AT, e raised to AT, is called a carrier signal, and this f of t is the original signal. So if I transmit this original signal with the carrier signal, then what I am able to get is, or where I can find my frequency signal. So frequency signal can be found at the frequency s minus a, where a is the carrier parameter here. Okay, and that's why this is how the first shifting property works. Now we have to think of the second shifting property. So what we have in the second shifting property? See, there are two types of delays generated in the system. Okay, so one is the controlled delay, other is the uncontrolled delay. Okay, and this delays has its own benefits to us. Okay, so where we can have a controlled delay and where we do not have the controlled uncontrolled delay. So uncontrolled delay means it is the system generated delay. We don't have the control over it. So system has the control over it. Okay. And now the uncontrolled delay that we'll see in the next chapter. So this second shifting property is related to uncontrolled delay. Okay. So what we have here, suppose I have Laplace of f of t. Okay, this is equal to f bar of s. Okay, and I have the another signal. So this is g of t. Okay, so this g of t is a delayed actually. So how it is delayed? So it has no response for 0 less than or equal to t less than or equal to a. So up to the time a, this g of t has no response. It is 0. Okay, inactive. And then after time a, it becomes active. So how it becomes active? But it will be delayed. So it will be t minus a when t is greater than a. So now we have to see how this time response, or where do we get this time response. Okay, so there are many systems in our real life where we see this second shifting property. Okay, so for example, we'll see the live show, okay, or live transmission of any event. Okay, so whatever the captured by camera and whatever you see on the TV screen, okay, that is delayed by 6 seconds. Okay, so whatever will be captured by camera will be displayed on the device or on the TV set, but the both the signals will have the delay of 6 seconds, and we don't have the control over this delay, so it will be always there. Okay, then the another example we'll see. Okay, so if I consider water, okay, so we know the water exists in all the three physical states. So I'll consider two of them. One is going to be the ice, and other is going to be the liquid water. Okay, so ice is going to be solid state and the liquid state water. And now I reset the parameters. I'm choosing water purposely because it has the two different physical states, solid and liquid, and then its chemical properties is going to be same. So it is now what I'm doing with this ice and water is I'm heating this. Okay, so ice has a 0 degree temperature. Water, I'm taking water as also the 0 degree temperature. So I'm observing the temperature of the water as I start it heating. Okay, so I assume that the same amount of water I have, same amount I have taken. Okay, now what will happen? So slowly it will increase, and then after some time it will increase rapidly, and then it will stabilize. Okay, so this is the temperature versus time graph of the water. Okay, so we started, it was 0 degree temperature first, and then it started rising, and then it suddenly in this portion it rises much more, and then after it get stabilized. So what will be this temperature when where it will be stabilized, where this will stabilize? This is the water that we are heating. Okay, so we have water, 0 degree water, and we started heating it. So temperature goes on rising, and then where this will stabilize?
100 degrees.
100 degrees centigrade, correct. So this is going to be 100 degrees centigrade. So at 100 degrees centigrade, it will stabilize because that is going to be the boiling point of the water. Okay, so it will stop there, and then after that it will vaporize. So we don't think of vapor right now. Okay, now we have the another one. Okay, so now I have 0 degree ice. Okay, and then I start observing. I started hitting the ice, and then I start the observing it. So how or what graph I'll get? Okay, so what happens is uh, for some time it will be same. Okay, after some time it will start rising, and then suddenly it will rise and then stabilize. Okay, so this is what you will have. the graph when we heat the 0-degree ice. Now you can see these two graphs. Okay, so they are nearly same. Okay, so this portion of the graph is same. This portion of the graph is same. Again, it will stabilize. Okay, so this is going to be ice. It will stabilize at 100 degrees centigrade. But you can see this portion. Okay, so as it starts with 0-degree, it will also start with 0-degree. But in this portion, first the 0-degree ice will melt to 0-degree water. Okay, so 0-degree ice will melt to 0-degree water. Where the heat will go and what this heat is called. So have you got this concept? How where this heat is got and then what this, because here we don't have any response. So this is our signal f of t and this is our signal f of t minus a. Okay, the same response that was obtained for the water will be for the ice, but after time a. Okay, it will be after time a, and that's why this is the delay generating system. Okay, so that's how we can have a delay generating system. And this delay generating system has so many industrial applications. And then only we can get the delay as a different. So many processes has this delay itself. And hence, that's why this delay is very important, or the system generated delay is very important, or this property of Laplace transform is very important. And now, if I have this relay generating system, then what will be the frequency response? Okay, so then we have to understand the frequency response. So then the Laplace transform of this delayed system g of p is equal to e raised to minus as into f bar of s. Okay, so that's how we are able to get the frequency response of the system. Okay, so this concept, this is called latent heat. If you remember, this is called latent heat to get the converted
Yes, sir.
to
Latent heat.
0-degree ice to 0-degree water. And after that, you will have the same curves. Okay, so whatever we have obtained earlier will be here. And that's why this is called the delayed system. So there are so many delayed system. One example, I told you the live TV program. The another example is this water reading experiment. And there, as I said, there are so many industrial applications. So pharmaceuticals, they have so many applications. All the antibiotics are derived using this delay generating system. So, and again, if we want to control, we can put the control. And so it has the advantages, okay, over controlling the delay. So we'll see how we control delay in next chapter, but this is uncontrolled. Okay, this is generated by the system. Okay, now we'll try to have examples based on this. Solving like f of t is equal to t minus 2 bracket square when it is t greater than 2 and f of t is equal to 0 when 0 less than or equal to t less than or equal to 2. Then find Laplace transform of f of. Okay, so this is the question that we have. Okay, now one thing you always have to remember. Okay, our time starts with 0 and move towards the infinity. So this is the time scale. Okay, so time will always start with 0 and will go to infinity. Now you can see the example. Here it is given that t greater than 2 and here it is given that 0 less than or equal to t less than or equal to 2. Okay, so first you must write this function properly. Okay, so it should start with 0 and then will go to infinity. So what I'll be having is let f of t is equal to 0 for 0 less than or equal to t less than or equal to t less than or equal to 2, and this is equal to t minus 2 bracket square when t is greater than 2. So this is the correct way we write the function. Okay, in example it may be given like this. Okay, so this is for your confusion, for creating the confusion. Okay, so that's why we have to be careful, and hence we need to understand this time scale. It starts with 0 and goes toward infinity. Now we started with 0 and we are going towards infinity. Okay, so this is the function that we have. Now you can see this is exactly the delay generated system. So you have 0 from 0 to a, you have 0 from 0 to 2, and you have t minus a. So don't think what is the given definition or given function. Just see the variable. So here variable is t minus a when t is greater than a, and here variable is t minus 2 when t is greater than 2. Okay, so this is the second shifting property. And now, once we know second shifting property, we have to understand what is going to be A. So here in this example, the value of A is going to be 2. And hence I can write by second shifting property. Okay, we get. So what we are able to get is Laplace transform of f of t is equal to e raised to minus as. Okay, so e raised to minus as. So the value of a is here 2. And then Laplace of. See, this a is taken by this term. So what remains is t, and so here I'll be having t square. Okay, what we know is the Laplace transform of t raised to n is equal to gamma n plus 1 upon s raised to n plus 1. Okay, that's what you'll be having, and hence I am able to get this as this is equal to e raised to minus 2s gamma of 2 plus 1 upon s raised to 2 plus 1. What we know about the property of gamma function, that gamma of n plus 1 is equal to n factorial, provided that n is positive integer. Okay, so if n is going to be positive integer, then we can have this property here. The value of n is going to be 2, so it is a positive integer, and hence I can write this as e raised to minus 2s into 2 factorial upon s cube. So I am able to get this as Laplace transform of f of t is equal to 2 e raised to minus 2s upon s. Okay, so here we have 2 factorial is same as 2, and so we are able to get the Laplace transform of this function f of t, that is going to be 2 into e raised to minus 2s upon s. Okay, I hope you got this example.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's great. Okay. Now we'll see one more example based on this property. Okay. So let's go with the another example you can have. So if f of t is equal to 0 for 0 less than or equal to t less than or equal to 3, and this is equal to sine of t minus 3 when t greater than 3, then find Laplace transform of. Okay. So that's what we have. Okay. Now, as in the previous example, I purposely took that example so that you can understand how to write the function. Now here, this is a straightforward question. So we can have let f of t is equal to 0, 0 less than equal to t less than equal to 3. And this is equal to sine of t minus 3 when t greater than 3. Okay. So this is the function. E. Okay. So remember one thing, in mathematics it is going to be a function. In technical subject it is going to be a signal. Okay. Then here again we can see that up to 3, 0 to 3 it has no response, and after 3 it has a delayed response, t minus 3 exactly. T minus a is there, so it is delayed response. So once we can understand this is the delay generating system, so we can get the only property related to delay generating system is a second shifting property. So there will be no confusion for this. Directly you can say yes, this is going to be the second shifting property. Okay, so we can write by second shifting property. Okay, so we get what we are able to get is Laplace transform of f of t is equal to e raised to minus 3s and Laplace transform of sine t. So as we know here, the value of a is going to be 3. So we can have this e raised to minus 3s, and we know Laplace transform of sine t, it is 1 upon s square plus 1. So I can use it here, and then I am able to get it as e raised to minus 3s 1 upon s square plus 1. Okay, so that's what you can have. This is going to be e raised to minus 3s upon s square plus 1. So we get the Laplace transform of f of t is equal to e raised to minus 3s upon s square plus 1. So this way we are able to get the Laplace transform of this. Okay, so this is how we are able to use the second shifting property, which is very easy. Okay, now I hope you got this example. So is there any doubt in this example? Right. So I hope all of you have got this second shifting property, and all of you have got this examples also. So that's good. So up to yet, we are done with all the properties of the Laplace transform. So we have explored all the properties and all the examples based on these properties. Now we have to apply these properties for the real integrals. Okay, so let us see how we are able to apply these properties to solve the real integrals. Okay, now we'll see the application of Laplace transform to evaluate the integrals. Okay, so we have to see here application of Laplace transform. Okay. So what we have to do is, as I am repeatedly telling you, one important thing in this chapter is the definition of Laplace transform. So we have f bar of s is equal to integral 0 to infinity e raised to minus st f of t dt. So here I have, this is going to be Laplace transform of f of. Okay. Now you can solve the real integrals using this definition or comparing this definition and using the different properties of Laplace transform. Okay, so what are those properties that you are able to use and how you are able to solve the integrals using a Laplace transform? Or the question is also why we have to go with the Laplace transform. See, sometimes the integrals we are not able to solve our usual methods, and hence we have to go for the new method, and sometimes we have to go for the advanced method. So here, when I want to solve the integral, I will have to first check whether the limits are 0 to infinity or not. So the limits must be from 0 to infinity. Then the next step we have to consider is whether there is an exponential term or not. And if there is an exponential term, then we have to consider it. Okay, and then after limits, after exponential term, whatever will be remaining, that will be f of t, the function of t. And we have to find out the Laplace transform of this function. Then by comparing the integral, we are able to get the value of s. Then we have to put this value of s on the both side, and then we are able to get the value of the integral. Okay, so we'll try to solve some problems based on this. Then you will understand it in a better way. So we go with the example. Okay, and very important thing that there will be at least one example of this type in the examination. So evaluate the integral 0 to infinity, okay, cos of 3t minus cos of 2t on t. I'll change it somewhat, make it cos of 4t. Okay, and this is going to be, yeah. Let us try this. Okay, so now the question is, what is the method that we are able to use to solve this integral? So what we know is we can go with u into v. So let us try u into v. So this is 0 to infinity. I'll be having cos of 3t minus cos of 4t into 1 by t dt. So I assume that this any one of this to be u and other to be v. Okay, so whatever you can think, check any one of this here, you choose u and you choose v. But the problem is that these both functions are infinitely integrable and infinitely differentiable. So u and v will not work. Okay, so u into v is not a good choice for this. Okay, now let us think of something else. So when we have the integral 0 to infinity, we have studied gamma functions to solve this integral. But what we know is what is the gamma function? The gamma is 0 to infinity e raised to minus x, x raised to n minus 1 dx is equal to gamma of n. And now you can see we want only the variable raised to n minus 1. Here you are in trouble. So if I consider only variable, then it is n is equal to minus 1. And at n is equal to minus 1, this function is not convergent. So you are not able to find using gamma function. Okay, so that means whatever we were knowing up to it, okay, we are not able to use that theory, and hence the previous tools that we have studied are not able to solve this problem. So we have to think of the advanced tool, and that is Laplace. Now the question is how. So I want to find this integral cos of 3t minus cos of 4t upon t dt. Okay. So as I told you that always compare this to the definition. Okay. So compare this integral to the definition that 0 to infinity e raised to minus st f of t dt, and this is equal to Laplace of f of t. Okay. Now when I compare, I don't have any exponential term here. Okay. But what I can have is, if I don't have, that means I'll have e raised to minus 0 t, that is going to be 1. So if I have this term here, then the first is integral 0 to infinity, that is okay. The exponential term is not there. So we can write this as e raised to minus 0 t. So it is going to be 1. So I can consider 1 here. And now from this, I can get the value of s is equal to 0. Okay. So I get the value of s is equal to 0. And the remaining is f of t. So this all term is going to be f of t. Okay. And once I have this f of t, so I'll write here, then we have f of t is equal to cos of 3t minus cos of 4t upon t plus s. Okay. So that's what we have. And now, once I know that this is f of t, that means I have to find out the Laplace of f of t. So I have to find out the Laplace of this and then put s is equal to 0, so I can get this integral. Okay. So that's what we have. Now, while finding the Laplace transform of this, you can see that this is the property division by t. So we have solved the problem using property division by t. What we do is we first find the Laplace transform of the numerator and then use the property division by t. That means integral s to infinity f bar of s ds. Okay. And the important thing that I have told you, do not separate the terms in the numerator. So you don't have to separate the terms in the numerator. So numerator terms will be as it is. And hence, now we consider, okay, Laplace transform of f of t. So that is what we will be having. Laplace transform of cos of 3t minus cos of 4t upon t. Okay. So what we know is Laplace transform of cos of 3t minus cos of 4t. So this is equal to, you will have s upon s square plus 9 minus s upon s square plus 16. Okay, so that's what we have. And because of this property, so this is the first step that we have completed. Because of the property division by t, I'll be having integral, okay, s to infinity. And then I have, this is s upon s square plus 9 minus s upon s square plus 16, and this is ds. Okay. So to solve this integral, what we have to do is we have to multiply and divide by 2. So integral half of integral s to infinity 2s upon s square plus 9 minus 2s upon s square plus 16, and this is ds. So this is going to be half of, to get log of s square plus 9 minus log of s square plus 16, and this is s to infinity. So as I have warned you, don't be in hurry to put the limits. The moment you write log of infinity, your answer will be lost. Okay, or your answer will be terminated there only. So that's why we have to be careful. So this is half of, you can have, this is log of s square plus 9 upon s square plus 16, and this is going to be s to infinity. As we know, log of a, minus log of b is equal to log of a by b. Okay. So using this property, we are able to get this. Now, what we have seen is that limit s tends to infinity s square plus 9 upon s square plus 16 is going to be 1. Okay. And hence, this is going to be half of. Now see, if I take a limit s tends to infinity and this term is going to be 1, so this is going to be 1 and we know log of 1 is going to be 0. Minus, you got here log of s square plus 9 upon s square plus 6. So that's what we have the limit. I can absorb this minus sign and I can write this as log of s square plus 16 upon s square plus 9. Okay. So that's what I'm able to get here. But actually, what we calculated, this was Laplace transform of f of t, and hence, what this side is actually integral 0 to infinity e raised to minus st cos of 3t minus cos of 4t. Okay, cos of 3t minus cos of 4t by t dt, and this we obtained as half of log of s square plus 16 upon s square plus 9. Okay, now you can see what integral we have evaluated, we have calculated the Laplace, we have calculated this integral. Now what we have to do is we have to put s is equal to 0 on both sides. Okay, so that's why our next step is to put the value of s is equal to 0 on both sides. So put s is equal to 0 on both sides of the above equation. Okay, so what we get here, we get integral 0 to infinity cos of 3t minus cos of 4t upon t dt, and this is equal to half of log of 0 plus 16 upon 0 plus 9. So it is half of log of 16 by 9. So we get here, this is integral 0 to infinity cos of 3t minus cos of 4t upon t dt is equal to half of log of 16 by 9. What we know is m log x is equal to log of x raised to m. And so we can write this as log of 16 by 9 raised to half. So it is going to be log of 4 by 3. Okay. So we got the value of this integral, hence integral 0 to infinity cos of 3t minus cos of 4t upon t dt is equal to log of 4. So this is how we are able to evaluate the real integral. See, this integral we were not able to evaluate by our usual methods up to yet, whatever we have seen. But if we use Laplace transform, it is easy for us to find the integral, this integral which is complicated to solve. but using Laplace transform, it becomes very easy actually. So, do we have any doubt up to this or up to yet in this example?
No, sir.
Okay. So, good. Yeah. Okay. Now, let us see one more example based on this. So, let's have an example. Okay, we'll go with another example. Evaluate integral 0 to infinity e raised to minus 2t e into sine of 4t. Okay, so we have to evaluate this integral. Okay, now you can see we have three functions e raised to minus 2t, t, and sine of 4t. So we have the formula for u into v. We don't have the formula for u into v into w, and that's why this is a limitation. So by usual method, we are not able to solve this integral. But now, if I compare this 0 to infinity e raised to minus st f of t dt, this is going to be Laplace transform of f of t. Okay, so we have e raised to minus st. So if I have e raised to minus st term, then what I'll get is s is equal to 2. Okay, and this entire function becomes function of t only. Okay, so preliminary stages, if you identify this, then your problem is solved, almost solved. Okay, so only thing is now we have to write it properly, or we have to write this solution properly. So what we can do is let I is equal to integral 0 to infinity e raised to minus 2t t into sine of 4t dt. Okay, so always write the given thing. Then we have, after comparison, what we'll get is we got f of t. We don't have to write what is s, we have to write what is f of t. So f of t is equal to t into sine of 4t. And now if I want to find out the Laplace transform of this, I know this is going to be the property multiplication by t. So first I have to find out the Laplace transform of this, and then I have to find out, or I have to use the property multiplication by t. Okay, so consider what we have. We have to consider the first step, Laplace transform of sine of 4t. Okay, so what will be the Laplace transform of sine of 4t? Any one of you can tell me what is the Laplace transform of sine of 4t?
4 upon s square plus 16.
Yes, it will be 4 upon s square plus 16. Okay, so this is the first step that we have completed. Now we have to use the property multiplication by t. Okay, so now we have Laplace transform of f of t is equal to Laplace transform of t into sine of 4t. And what we know, the property of Laplace transform of t into f of t. So this is what, minus 1 e by ds, okay, f bar of s. Okay, so this is what the property is, and hence I'll be having here minus 1 e by ds of Laplace transform of this sine of 4t. So which we have calculated earlier, so it will become 60. Okay, then what we know is, I hope you are able to calculate the derivative. So this will be 8s upon s square plus 16 bracket square. Okay, so what we know is Laplace transform of t into sine 80. This is 2as upon s square plus a square bracket square. This already we have calculated, so I am using it directly here. Okay, but if you are not able to get this step, then you can tell me. I'll again take the derivative and show you how do we get this one. Are you able to get this step?
Yes,
Are you
sir.
get? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So you got this step. So that's what we have is we got here. This is going to be the Laplace transform of f of. Okay. Or what we got here is this is nothing but integral 0 to infinity e raised to minus st t into sine of 4t dt is equal to at s upon s square plus 16 and bracket square. So that's what we have got. Now, what we have seen is in the first step only, beginning only, we have identified that s is equal to 2. So if I put s is equal to 2, then only I'll get this integral. So now, whatever we have obtained, we have to put s is equal to 2. Okay, so what we'll do here, put s is equal to 2 in above equation we get. Okay, so the most important thing here is that whenever you are replacing yes, you have to replace at all the places, on the left hand side also, on the right hand side also. So if you replace at one place only, that means either on right hand side or only on left hand side, then you won't get full marks. Okay, so you have to be careful. Though your answer will be correct, but you will not get full marks, and hence you have to be careful. You have to write or replace the value of yes on both the sides, and hence you have to write both the sides. Okay, because basically we are finding the integral. Our aim is to evaluate the integral. Okay, and Laplace transform is the tool that we are using. Okay, so we have to write actually always what we are finding. So what we are finding here, if I put s is equal to 2, then it will be integral 0 to infinity e raised to minus 2t t into sine of 4t dt. So this is equal to what I'll get here, 8 into 2, and here I'll be having this is s square. So here I'll be having this will be 2 square plus 16 bracket square. So this is going to be 16 and this is going to be 20 square. This will be 4 plus 16 is equal to 20. So 20 square. So this will be 16 by 400. Okay. And more you can simplify. So what you can have is, yeah.
1
So
upon 25.
what this term will be? 1 upon
1
25.
upon 25.
Yes, correct. So what we got here, we got the value of the integral as, so we got here, this is integral 0 to infinity e raised to minus 2t. Okay. E raised to minus 2t into t into sine of 4t dt. Now this is going to be 1 by 25. Okay. So easily we are able to get. That's why this Laplace transform is very useful. So if imagine that if you don't have a Laplace transform and you have to evaluate this integral, so it will be nearly impossible, or it will be very much complicated. Okay, so using Laplace transform, it is easy. We can evaluate this. Okay, so I hope there is no doubt. But is there any doubt on this for this example or on this concept?
No, sir.
Okay, okay, that's great. So Here,